The countdown is on. Team USA is back at the World Cup taking on Wales this afternoon. We should be able to beat Wales, right? And this year's tournament comes with a lot of baggage, of course. You've seen fierce accusations of corruption against FIFA, that's soccer's governing body. They've had a lot of problems over the years for picking this year's host country, Qatar. After years of preparations, an investigation by The Guardian found over 6,500 migrant workers from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bangladesh have died in Qatar since 2012. Many of those deaths were directly linked to the construction of World Cup stadiums and infrastructure. For its part, Qatar has pushed back on those reports, saying that those deaths are work-related. And with global games come global politics, of course, a stunning moment. This is really one of the most moving moments in sports in recent times. Iran's national team, there they are. They chose to stay silent during the national anthem of Iran. They refused to sing it. An apparent show of solidarity with protesters in that country who've been demonstrating after the death of 22-year-old Masha Amini, who died in custody of the country's morality police, held for allegedly not wearing her hijab correctly. So let's talk about this moment and what's going on. Here to discuss, analyst and host for Major League Soccer, Calen Carr. So, Calen, it's clearly not just a game, right? The World Cup is a global event with global politics. What do you make of what we've seen so far on the world stage there?
Yeah, the football and soccer, as we call it here, is always connected to the broader world, and I think much of the discussion around the World Cup has rightly focused on that. Of course, we're going to be very excited for the matches to kick off, and the U.S. has a game against Wales coming up shortly, which I'm very excited for. But I think it's important to keep these conversations going. We've seen some of the federations making statements as well. The U.S. men's national team, their training complex, they chose to paint in the rainbow colors to support the LGBTQ community. So I think you'll see this sort of as a developing story throughout the tournament. And I think the U.S. men's national team is a young team, but I think one that has used their voice to speak up for change and for progress. So that'll be an interesting one to watch.
For sure. And Calen, as a broadcaster, looking at past World Cups as well, is this kind of controversy that we're seeing on these issues unprecedented, or is it because of the selection of Qatar as the host country?
This is not a new conversation. I think all you have to do is look back to the last World Cup in Russia in 2018, and in a way how it seemed to really extend beyond soccer, beyond football, into what we see now today in Ukraine. So I think those conversations have been happening. I think this time it does seem to be a little bit more focused and concentrated and pointed towards Qatar and some of the human rights abuses that have happened over the time, and some of the laws that are there. So I do not think this is a new conversation, but I think an important one, and one that you're going to continue to see.
All right, so let's talk about soccer here. The games themselves, the matches themselves. Today, Team USA versus Wales. Now, I don't follow it that closely. Please tell me that our Team USA can beat Wales.
Yes, they can. I can just get that out of the way. But I don't think it'll be an easy match by any means. I think this Wales team has some top players. Gareth Bale, who plays here in Major League Soccer, he's known to step up in some of the biggest matches in the world. He did it in the Champions League final. We saw it just a month ago for LAFC, scoring in a crucial goal to send the game to penalties and ended up lifting the trophy. So today, the U.S. fans will be hoping he has an off day, because we're going to need to step up in a big way. But we have a young, exciting team, a bunch of players that have come through the U.S. development system here in MLS, are plying their trade here at the highest level, as well as in Europe now. So I think this young team is going to really start to kind of capture some of the attention of the domestic audience that maybe isn't always tuned in to soccer, but is dialed in for the World Cup. And I'm hoping today they can make a strong impression.
That's so true. And Calen, you played in the MLS, and so you like our chances here and the chances of this sport. Look, when the women play and have done so well over the years, I know that my house is around the television watching those matches. There's nothing like success to get people excited. But soccer's in a pretty good place in this country, isn't it?
Yeah, it's growing. It's massive. I mean, even when I came into Major League Soccer, there was only 12 teams. David Beckham joined around that time. And since then, we've seen the rapid expansion of this league. Now 29 teams with St. Louis coming in next year. So brand new facilities, incredible players, and really developing young talent has been the big shift for me. If you look at today's lineup, Tyler Adams, I saw growing up here in Major League Soccer at just 15, 16 years old, came into the league and now is playing in the Premier League. And he'll be a captain today for a young U.S. men's national team that is looking to make an even bigger name for themselves. He's well known playing for Leeds United in the Premier League, but I think has a bigger potential even to make a bigger transfer. Christian Pulisic, of course, will get a ton of the headlines, huge talent up front. And then we have Walker Zimmerman, who plays for Nashville here in MLS, that I think is going to be a big character, dangerous on set pieces. And he's going to need to have a big day, especially going up against Gareth Bale, who is in the starting lineup for Wales.
All right, you got me stoked now, Calen. We'll be watching and hoping that we beat Wales and go on this young team. Thanks very much for being with us, Calen.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.